Welcome back, everybody. So once again, we are continuing with my playlist on quadratic equations. So this is the fifth video on quadratic equation and second video on splitting the middle term. I'm assuming if you have not watched the previous video of splitting the middle term, this video, you may not be in a position to understand it well, or you may not be able to relate it to what I'm speaking. Or if you know splitting the middle term already well, we are going to discuss few cases where challenging sums of splitting the middle term can come. There are many, but I have restrictions, we have limitations, and I've covered few sums in this video. So without wasting any time, let us get into the video, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Also, students, give it to all your friends who will actually benefit out of this video, your friends, your relatives, and everybody. So these are the steps that we discussed in the last video, the 5 steps of splitting the middle term. And then we understood whether the sum will be based on addition or on subtraction based on last number sign. And then we have two different rules for sign, one for addition and one for subtraction. Now this is how we ended in the previous video, and we learned few sums on this as well. Now once again, let us talk about factorization. So one sum which deals with big numbers, that is 216 x square minus 793 x plus 216 equal to 0. Now this is the sum which was given at the end of the video for you to solve, and I'm glad that few of you got it. Now let us discuss how to do it quickly. The challenge would be to find out the factors quickly and solve it quickly. Now there are many methods that we can apply, but let me tell you that none of the method are 100% true. Most of the times it is about taking different permutation and combination only. But I'm trying to reduce the efforts which would work in 95% of the cases. Now students, if we have to follow, now if you look at this, we have to follow our steps. Now if I have to revise, the first step would be putting it in the standard form. Okay, it is in the standard form. We have to make sure that no negative sign here. If there is a negative sign, we get rid of that. Now student, the next step says A into C. Now if I have to multiply 216 into 216, trust me, if there is a sum in an exam where you have to multiply 216 and 216 and you have to get the factors, it would take a lot of time. So how do we do it? Let us not multiply only 216 into 216. Luckily, both the numbers are same. Let us factorize them individually. So what I am going to do is, first I will factorize 216. So 2 108s are 2 54s are 2 27s are 3 9s are 3 3s are 3 1s are. So when I factorize 216, what I get is 2 into 2 into 2, 3 into 3 into 3. Now there are two numbers involved, 216 into 216. So luckily the other number is also 216. The factors would be same. That is once again 2 into 2 into 2, 3 into 3 into 3. Now students, we want two numbers such that just because the last number sign is plus, after adding the two factors, I should get 793. That is minus 793. Now students, it's all about taking different permutation and combination. I'm going to give you a method for these type of sums which works 90% of the cases. Now, what is a peculiarity about this sum? What I can see is, in this entire sum, only two factors are getting repeated. Either everything is 2 or everything is 3. So my suggestion for you, when we have such type of sums, when you find the prime factors and you can find only two numbers getting repeated, what we will do is, first step should be, I'm not telling you will always get the answer, but this will give you answer most of the times. Take all the 2's together and take all the 3's together and multiply them and see whether that works. So if I am multiplying 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. So even this will be 8. 8 8s are will be 64. Okay. And this is 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. 27 into 27 is 729. And if I add both the numbers, yes, I am getting 793, which is the middle term. So I think this is a beautiful technique which works in more than 90% of the cases. Now students, the time is to give signs. If you have listened to the previous video, you know it. It's a sum based on addition because the last number sign is plus. So the middle number sign will go to both the factors. So this is how we find the factors. Now students, let us go ahead with the sum. 216 x square and 216 as it is plus 216. The middle term 793 x cube will be written as minus 64x and minus 729x. Now students, we have to make pairs and take common. Now I'm going to give you few techniques on taking out common, which I did not discuss in the previous sums. So we are going to discuss that now. Okay, give me a second. Okay. So students, okay, so let us make two groups. The group of first two terms and the group of last two terms. So students, what you need to do is at least take common from the first two terms anyhow, whatever is comfortable for you. So I'm trying to take common from 216x square minus 64x. Now 216, the factors are here, 2 into 2 into 2, 3 into 3 into 3. So 216 will be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. Do not forget the x square, which would be x into x minus 64. We know it is 8 into 8. So it would be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Because you multiply all this, you get 64. And do not forget the x. Now let us see what is common. 2. Okay, 2. Okay, one more 2. Okay. And one more 2. Okay, great. So there are 3 2's common. That is 8 is common. And you can see there is 3 here, but no 3's here. So that brings me to the x. Okay, so x is common. So you can see 2 2's are 4, 4 2's are 8 and x. They are common. So I'll say 8x is common. Let us see what remains in the bracket. 3 3's are 9, 9 3's are 27. What is here is x minus 2 2's are 4, 4 2's are 8. So once you remove common, students, what I can say is 8x is common. What remains in the bracket is 27x minus 8. Now students, I want you to remember something. Now this is what usually I do not suggest, but this is a trick which can help you. I know that the second bracket is always going to be the same. Always. So if you're going to use this trick, be very, very careful. So I can say that these two brackets are always going to be the same. Now let us understand what will come here. I have 27 here and I have minus 729 here. If it is minus here, it is going to be minus here definitely. Now this is 27, this is 729. 27 into what is 729? 27 into 27 is 29. So this will be common. You can check minus 27 into minus 8 will be 216. So this is one of the beautiful ways and great ways of finding the answer very quickly. You can use them if you are smart enough for that. So minus 27 is common, equal to 0. Now once again, if you see the brackets, the two brackets are exactly same. So 27x minus 8 will be once again common. And what remains in the bracket would be 8x minus 27 equal to 0. Now once again, the product of two bracket is 0. Then at least either of the brackets should be 0. Then either 27x minus 8 is 0 or 8x minus 27 is 0. Now 8 shifts that side, 27 comes in the denominator. So x will be 8 upon 27. Or in this case, minus 27 goes that side, plus 27 and 8 gets divided. So 27 upon 8. Then the final answer, the roots of the given quadratic equation is 8 upon 27 and 27 upon 8. Now this is one of the tricks for such type of sums that can be used. Let us take one more sum. Let me erase these writings. Okay, great. Now students, let us go to the sum. 281x square plus 50x minus 2679 is equal to 0. Now students, I want you to pause the video, take some time, find out the sum, find out the factors, try solving the sum. Here it could be tricky. So I'm going to give you few tricks here. Now let us see how to solve the sum. Now first of all, the basics, the equation has to be in the standard form. There should be no negative sign here if you have to follow my method. Then it is 281 into 2679. So 281 into 2679. Now it's going to be a huge number. So my suggestion is don't multiply them whenever you come across big numbers, factorize them individually. Now let us start with 281. You'll spend some time, then you'll realize it doesn't get factorized further. So I'll write as it is. Let us go for 2679. Definitely 3, because if you add it's divided 3 8s are 24, 9s are 27, and 3 3s are 893 is further factorizable, but anyways it's a very big number, so as of now I'll keep it as it is. Now students, once you have prime factorized or found out factors as much as you could. Now my point is, now you would say, sir, how would I know 281 is a prime number or not? My suggestion is, if you can't find the factors, write as it is. Now 893 can be further factorized. So even though it is factorized, now suppose you don't know 893 is divisible or not, you write as it is. First check whether this combination gives you answer or not. If not, then try to factorize any of the other number. Now students, I'm going to give you a particular pattern, which I call 3 steps. The 3 steps would be: first, biggest factor aside. Second is product of the biggest and smallest. And the third is product of the biggest and 2 smallest. If the first step fails, you go for the second step. If the second step fails, you go for the third step. Now, let's going ahead to the first step. The first step says biggest factor aside. Now, 893 is the biggest factor. So I am keeping 893 aside. Product of the other 2, multiply the other 2 numbers, that becomes the trick. 281 into 3. So let us multiply 281 3s are 3 1s are 3, 8 3s are 24, 2, 3 2s are 6 and 8. So it would be 843. Now let us check whether we have to add or subtract. Since there is a minus sign here, we have to subtract and get 50. So we will subtract both the numbers, and yes, we are getting 50. So these are my factors. Now giving the signs away to these numbers. As we know, we give the middle number sign to the bigger factors if it is a sum based on subtraction. Now this is a sum based on subtraction. The middle number sign goes to the bigger number and opposite sign goes to the smaller number. So my factors would be plus 893 and minus 843. So we need not use the other 2 steps. So let us try solving the sum ahead. 281x square and minus 2679 as it is. Plus 50x would be written as minus 843x and plus 893x. Now students, here purposely I've been careful because I know common could be an issue here. I have taken purposely 843 first here. There was a reason, because I know 281 into 3 is 843. So what I can do is, if I take 281 common from both the terms, what remains is 3. So basically what I will do is 281 and x common from both the terms. I know 281 and x has come outside the bracket. So within the bracket here will be x minus 281 3s are, because I have just multiplied it here, and x is already outside the bracket. So x minus 3. So let us be smart now. We know here it will be x minus 3 again. There is 1 here and there is 893 here. So definitely the entire 893 would have been common. Now this is how you can be smart in finding out the common for the second bracket in all the sums. But you have to be very careful. The chances of you going wrong is also very high if you follow this. So x minus 3 is common. What remains outside the bracket is 893 equal to 0. Now x minus 3 is once again common. What remains in the bracket is 281x plus 893. Now when the product of 2 bracket is 0, at least one bracket has to be 0. So x minus 3 is 0, or 281x plus 893 is 0. Then x will be 3, or x would be plus 893 goes that side, becomes minus 893 upon 281. Then the final statement, the roots of the given quadratic equation are 3 and minus 893 upon 281. I hope this sum is clear. Now students, let us take few sums where we have root. Now try to understand, even when we have square root numbers, we will have 2 types of sum in that. One, where we have square root in the extremes. I'm sorry. Where we have square root in the extremes, that could be one situation. And one where I have square root in the middle number. When I say extremes, that means the first and the last term, if you see, we have square root. This is one type of sum. The other type would be where I will have square root in the middle term. Now let us follow the steps. When it is in the extremes, it is not a very difficult sum. It's a normal sum itself. Now let us follow the step. Yes, it is in the standard form. Avoid negative sign in the square term. Let us multiply a into c. So when I multiply a into c, what I get is root 2 into 5 root 2. Now root 2 into root 2 will multiply radical number with a radical sign with a radical, square root with square root, and we'll keep this as it is. Root 2 into root 2 is 2 into 5, that is 10. And what we have is 10. So we got 10 here. Now we need to find out two factors of 10 such that after addition, because the last number sign is plus, it gives me 7. So 1 into 10, 1 plus 10 will not give me 7. After 1 will take 2, 2 into 5 is 10, 2 plus 5 will give me 7. Now since it's a sum based on addition, we'll give middle number sign to both the factors. So plus sign to both the factors. Now students, let us try solving this sum ahead and then taking common. Common could be a task here. So the first and the last term as it is, 7x will be written as 5x plus 2x. Now let us try to take common, students. Now you can use different ways. You can be very smart. I'll just clear off what all I've done so that I have more space to write stuffs. So we have two groups now. I'll just take common for both of them. Root 2x square plus 5x. Now see, I have root 2 here. I need to check. Do I have 2 here? No. So root 2 will be as it is. X square will be x into x. Now this is 5. If it would have been 2, I would have reduced it further. But if it is 5, it's no use reducing it because only x would be common. What remains is root 2x plus 5. Now you can use the technique that I gave in the previous sum and get common from the second bracket, or anyways you will have to learn this for the next sum. I have 2 here and I can see root 2 here. So I will try and express 2 in the terms of root 2. So I know that because I've learned surds, 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2 and x as it is. And 5 root 2 as it is. I'm not breaking up 5 because there is no root 5 here. So I can see root 2 common. What remains in the bracket is root 2x plus 5, and you can see both the brackets are same. That means everything looks okie dokie. Okay, we'll take common from the first two bracket. X is common. What remains in the bracket is root x plus 5. Now there is plus sign here, so there will be plus here. So root 2x plus 5, so it would be plus root 2 into root 2x plus 5 equal to 0. Now once again root 2, if you see both the brackets are same. So root 2x plus 5 is once again common. What remains in the bracket is x plus root 2. Now root 2x plus 5 is 0 or x plus root 2 is 0. So x would be plus 5, shifts here, it becomes minus 5 and root 2 gets divided. And plus root 2, it comes here, it's minus root 2. Then the final answer. The roots of the given quadratic equation are minus 5 root 2 and minus root 2. And don't forget to put it in a beautiful looking box. Now students, let us take one more root sum and then I will give you one root sum to solve. 3x square minus 2 root 6x plus 2 equal to 0. Now once again, what is the difference between in this sum? What makes this sum challenging than any other sum is we have square root sign in the middle number. Now trust me students, you have to be very careful while finding out factors. I've taken up an easier sum so that explanation becomes easy, but sums could be tougher than this, which you have to try, which I've given you in the next slide. So first it is in the standard form. There is no negative sign here. We'll go for the basic steps, a into c. So 3 2s will give me 6. Now I have to add to get the middle term because the last term sign is x. Now student, there is few questions I want to ask. What is 3x plus 4x? I bet everybody knows it's 7x. What is 4y plus 2y? I'm sure it is 6y. But what is 7x plus 3y? Can we add them? No. That means If addition of two number is 7x, both the terms will have x, that is for sure. If the addition of two terms is 6y, both the terms will have y, that is for sure. Similarly, understand this, if the addition because the last number sign is plus, of two terms is 2 root 6, both the terms should have root 6 because only then they can be added. Now, this is the most crucial thing that you need to know about the sums where we have square root in the middlemost number. So basically, if I have to sum it up, I will say, if there is root, first of all, you have to make it a pure surd. That means it should not, if I can remove something out, try to remove out. What is very important here is, if I have root 6 here, my both the factors will have root 6. If I have root 7 here, my both the factors will have root 7. If I have root 3 here, my both the factors will have root 3. This will be the minimum condition. Once you have done this, you have to check, the second step would be, check if you multiply root 6 and root 6, do you get this? What is root 6 into root 6? 6. We are lucky enough that we are getting 6. If not, we'll have to try putting some numbers and get the product that we'll have in the next sum. So luckily, here root 6 into root 6 is 6. And let us check whether the addition is giving me 2 root 6. Yes, root 6 plus root 6 will give me 2 root 6. So fantastic. My factors are root 6 and root 6. And since the middle number sign is minus and the sum is based on addition, both the numbers will have minus. I hope this is clear. But trust me, students, the sums could be more complicated. But this is the basics. If you follow the basics, the rules that I've told you, tried to explain you here, you will never ever go wrong. First and last time as it is. I'll just clear the things I've written because I will need the entire slide to explain you common and everything. Now this minus 2 root 6 can be written as minus root 6x and minus root 6x as discussed. Now to find out common, students, it could be another task. So let us make a pair of two, the pair of first two and the pair of last two. So we have made the groups. Before that, let us break everything. Now 3x square, write in the terms of root and everything. Now this 3, I know can be written as root 3 into root 3. This x square can be written as x into x. Minus root 6. 6 is 3 2s are. So 6 will be written as root 2 into root 3 and x as it is. Once again, I have root 6x. So I will write root 3 into root 2 or root 2 into root 3 into x. I have the last term as 2. So I'll write plus root 2 into root 2 is equal to 0. Now students, just follow the color combination. You'll understand which number is broken as how based on the color. Now let us try to find out common, students. Now this is the first two terms as we had underlined before, and this is the last two terms. Now let us see what is common in the first two terms. I can see root 3 common and we can see x common. There is nothing else common. So outside the bracket will be root 3x and inside the bracket will be root 3x minus root 2. Now let us go to the next bracket. So there is a minus sign. Be careful, there will be a minus sign here. So let us see root 2 and root 2. There is nothing else common if you see. Nothing else common. So be careful. I have a minus sign here. So I'll have to write that same sign. And minus root 2 would be common. Now once I take minus common, students, I know the signs inside the bracket will change. So it will be root 3x. So it's a plus. So it will become minus root 2 is equal to 0. Now students, what was the ultimate aim? The ultimate aim was to get these two brackets same. Now those two brackets are same, so I need not worry about the sum is going on the right track. Root 3x minus root 2, and what remains in the bracket is root 3x minus root 2. I believe everybody has understood till here. Now since the product of two bracket is 0, either of the brackets will be 0. So root 3x minus root 2 is 0, or root 3x minus root 2 is 0. So minus root 2 comes here, it becomes plus root 2, and root 3 gets divided. And similarly here. So here you can write the final answer as student. Here we can change the final answer. The root of the given quadratic equation is root 2 upon root 3. Now, basically, students, there is one more thing I would like to discuss. Whenever we have square root sign in the denominator, we are usually supposed to rationalize. So basically, this would be the right answer to represent it is in an utmost appropriate way. Root 6 upon root 3 into root 3 root 3. So this would be the right way if you can add a step and rationalize it, which may not be necessary also, but this is an appropriate way of doing it. I hope students you have understood this sum. Now there is one sum I would like to give it to you, which I want you to try, where we have square root in the middle term, and I want you to try it. There could be a challenge in finding out the factors, and please give me the answer. If you want a solution to a particular sum or anything like that, students, make sure that you always, you can write a mail to me at shashikant16@gmail.com. This is my Gmail ID, or you can write in the comment section, or you can ask me in my Instagram ID. So that's all for today. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you all. Make sure that you share the video with all those who need it, and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.